everybody, it's Charlie from DM Sound, and today we've got the sound system demo on the 2024 Honda Prologue and its 12-speaker upgraded Bose audio system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at how the infotainment system works, take a look at audio inputs, adjustments, and controls, then we're going to look at where these speakers are located, and then we're going to head on the road and listen to these sample tracks while we're rolling, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Now, if you don't care about any of that stuff at the beginning and you just want to hear the music, click ahead in the video. We've got chapters to get you right to the tunes. And I recommend listening with headphones so you can hear exactly what I hear in the driver's seat. Now, typically we get it started by going outside of the car and doing a little walk around, but the rain is coming down pretty aggressively for us here at this first drive event. So I'm going to show you a little B-roll footage of us going around this all-new 2024 all-electric Honda model. This is entirely new for Honda. They've obviously had electric vehicles and electrified vehicles for a little while now, but this is kind of their full, big, mass-market SUV electric vehicle, and it is co-developed with GM, but I've been told that this Bose system is tuned entirely different for the Honda cars than the GM cars, and that should be good for us because I've been fairly impressed with the newer Bose systems coming out in the Hondas. Now, if you get the EX model, you're getting a 6-speaker basic sound system, but you should be getting this Bose in both the Touring and Elite models. If you do want to see more on the car, check the link below. We've got a little bit of extra coverage from the Topher, and I don't know exactly what we're going to be able to get away with shooting here today, but once we get the car back at DMHQ, we'll be able to shoot our whole suite of videos. Now, we always do these tests with lossless, uncompressed WAV files on a USB stick plugged directly into the system, and high-quality Roland binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. We also do the test with the sound settings set to their factory defaults. So let's take a look at those now. A newer infotainment system here for Honda. It's looking good. Still a good amount of ways to get around. I kind of have to familiarize myself with the system, but it's not going to look too different from some of the things you've seen before, and it is running Android Automotive. So you've got things like Google Podcasts right in there, which is actually kind of funny because Google Podcasts is being depreciated, but you've got Google Assistant built right in, then Maps should be right on there. Yep, Google Maps. That's really cool. But we're dealing with audio, so we're going to click here on the audio button. This is our media screen. We're going to go up here to sound, audio settings and sound. You've got adjustments for bass, mid-range, and treble. Let's go through those. Pretty big range of adjustability there, and you can see good responsiveness from the system, very easy to adjust things, and then there's a big reset button up at the top. Below that, you have a front, rear, left, right, fader, and balance adjustment. Again, very easy to adjust. And that's all you've got for audio adjustments. For audio controls, here in the new Prologue, you have a volume knob, thank goodness. I do wish we were a little bit closer to the passenger. I know the passenger's going to really have to reach over to that, but decent clickage, a little bit of resistance on it, but overall feels nice. You've also got volume controls on the back right of the steering wheel. We're seeing a little bit of that GM influence here. Back right of the steering wheel for the volume controls. And then for track selection, no physical control, unfortunately. You got to do that through the screen here. This seems to be a fairly persistent menu. Actually, no, I take that back. So if you've got navigation up here and you're navigating somewhere and your passenger wants to change the track, they're going to actually have to go home, actually all the way to the media screen, and then switch the track to there. And if you're the driver, you have track adjustment. Okay, that's actually doing your favorites. Do we? Yeah, no, it's on the back right of the steering wheel. So there's this little regen button back there, but then there's also right below that track adjustment on the left side of the wheel. For audio inputs in the Prologue, you have your standard AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio. Do we have HD radio support? Let's see. I'm actually not seeing HD radio pop up here, so I'll put it on the screen right below if we do have support for HD radio in there. And then you've got Bluetooth streaming, USB-C ports, and since this is an Android Automotive-based system, you can install different listening applications as well. So right here you see Google News, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. But if you use the Play Store, you can install even more streaming services built right in. What does that mean you're missing? Well, there's no 3.5mm auxiliary input jack and no USB-A ports. Make sure you get yourself an adapter if you want to plug in USB drives. Speaker locations. Now, as I said, this is a 12-speaker system. So starting in the bottom left, you've got a door woofer right there, 1, mid-range up front, 2, tweeter 3, center mid-ranger 4, 5, 6, 7 on the other side. Coming into the back row, you're looking at 8 tweeter, 9 mid-range woofer there, 10, 11 on the other side. And then underneath here in the trunk area, you're not going to be able to see it, it's very buried in, but we do have a subwoofer right under this Honda Moto Compacto down there. Okay, before we get out on the road, I do want to test this system's 5.1 surround capability. I'm assuming it's only a 2-channel system, but we're going to utilize our immersiveaudioalbum.com test track here. Let's see, songs maybe? There we go. Let's listen.
Welcome to the Immersive Audio Album Channel Configuration Test. Left. Center. Right. Left surround. Right surround. LFE.
Okay.
The Immersive Audio Album Channel Configuration Test is now complete. Hej då!
So yeah, sounds like pretty much typical 2-channel like we expected, but still a good amount of cabin surroundness in there. All right, let's head out on the road. first started evaluation here, I got a little nervous, I will admit, that the lower bass hits, or rather the upper bass hits in track number 2 weren't sounding accurate to me, so I was concerned. But the more and more we get through our test tracks here, I'm satisfied with the balance. I am hearing that subwoofer kicking in the back, and I think it's cool that Honda and Bose made the choice to put a rear-based subwoofer in this car, because we see a lot of manufacturers going away from that, and making that decision allows us to get more of that deeper, rumblier, punchier bass that a lot of people really appreciate, especially more in kind of hip-hop, R&B, pop-style music. In terms of the mids and the highs, I'm also pretty satisfied. Again, the only place I'm kind of noticing some inaccuracy is the upper bass coming out of these door-based woofers. Kind of turn it up here. On some of those lower drum kicks, I'm noticing a bit of a hollow sound that isn't super accurate, but all things considered, liking what I'm hearing so far out of this Bose system. For this next track, we'll turn the bass all the way up and see what we get out of that rear bass subwoofer. So even fairly loud here, not getting distortion. I'm definitely getting some slap, so it's not clean, but it's also not sloppy. It's somewhere in the middle there. Up my thoughts here on the 12-speaker Bose sound system here in the Honda Prologue. First off, I've got to apologize for the rain. I really didn't want to record this with rain coming down. I know that's not exactly fair to the system to have that sort of intrusion, but we've got limited time in the seat here today. It's, 4:30 almost already. This is what I've got. If my evaluation changes when I've got the car in dry weather after we do the members-only sound test and everything, I'll update this video. But I'm honestly really happy with what I'm hearing in the car here. And I gotta admit, it's not really what I expected. This is a vehicle that's got shared architecture with General Motors. General Motors Boses aren't usually my favorite systems. They usually lack a depth and a bandwidth. The Honda Boses have been pretty solid. I've been happy at the price point with the Civic and the Accord and the CR-V, but I was really curious at what we're gonna get here in a similar system at $60,000. And typically my biggest concerns in a system like this is are aspects of the music coming through too harsh or too quiet? And is any of the instrumentation really sounding out of whack? And I'm not getting that out of this system. I'm able to really crank it up and still have it be satisfying to my ears. So I hesitate to give this an A without more evaluation. So I might retest and give it an A, but it's coming in at the highest B plus I can think of for this system. So real kudos, and if you are spending this money on the Prologue, I think you're gonna be pretty happy with it. Thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the car, check the link below, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from DM Sound, and as always, drive on.